I know what's going on. I know, so the video game you're talking about is Far Cry 6. Anton Castillo. Paradise comes at a price. Yes, you know, when you play a character that has a strong personality, there are moments where you can feel like you can live that, and then you can be that. So you stop yourself at times in your real life because you realize that you can't completely control the world. Oh, that's such a very difficult question. Muy difícil. I mean, so first of all, I hear you can ski an hour or an hour and a half from here. So when we finish, I'm coming with you to the mountain. The biggest audiences come from shows that are mostly commercial. And it's a blessing to be part of a show that reaches many, many, many people. Your question is difficult because I love to do smaller films in television that make a difference, because then you see yourselves in those shows. So I say that because it would be a dual answer. My time in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul has made a huge difference, not only in my life, but in a show that in America we have a saying, the little engine that could. It's the great story that people pay attention to and that we relate to. But on the other hand, we've now been able to recreate wonderful and great stories also in larger shows like The Mandalorian. And so I'm very proud to be a part of that, because that plays on a bigger tapestry and has a mythological connection to the hero and heroine's journey. And believe it or not, that's all of our journeys. To be able to allow ourselves to feel like we validate ourselves, like we're special, like there's a reason and a story that we have to tell that changes other people's lives, especially the people who are directly in contact with us, our families, our associates. Because if you dream a big dream and you commit to it, it can come true. And we need more of that in our world. To know that you're important and you're important, and the story you have to tell, we're just waiting to hear it. And so you enlist each other to help tell your stories, no matter what those stories are, if they're personal and they mean something to you. That's a great question, because it took a lot of time to make that. And that is motion capture, mocap, in a green suit with sensors all over everything. And it's like acting in a black box theater. You're acting without any elements, physical elements. Everything else is put in. How did I feel? Fantastic. I'll tell you why. Because I act with a helmet on and cameras right in front of my face and a light, and I have to make a connection with a human being. But after all of the physical stuff is shot, artists take it and make it real. And I looked and I went, no, that's me. That's me, that's not digitized. And then I loved it because they can make me younger.
Y le encantó porque lo hicieron más joven.
They can make me older.
Lo pueden hacer más viejo también.
They can make me very, very sick and tired.
Lo pueden hacer
and they can make me thinner.
Más delgado.
So I think it's a fantastic thing. And it still looks just like me, has my voice, of course, and all my mannerisms. It's fantastic. I feel as if the bad guy, the nefarious character, the anti-hero is the fallen hero. So what I only come about this, and the acknowledgement of it is through actually performing on Mandalorian and what Moff Gideon wants. And then I went, oh, this is what all of my bad guys want. They want to be good, they just can't. So, and I'll take it further. People want to be heard. Gustavo Fring, he had a vision. He could do it better than the Salamancas. They were nothing because he had the brain to expand. But no one, the Salamancas didn't see that. Moff Gideon wanted to bring everyone back together, maybe for not very good reasons. He wants the child maybe to get something from the child to help the world, but he's not doing it in the right way. So I attest that if you give the villain a humanity and you don't play a stereotype, you're playing a part of all of us who just want to be heard, just want to be acknowledged, just want to be loved. And so this is what I think really creates a character with The Boys. It's about superheroes. They do bad things because they have human emotions. It's a brilliant show. It reflects all of us. We all want to be superheroes. In fact, what we don't know is we all are superheroes. But we also have these emotions. You know, God on one shoulder, the devil on the other. And that takes knowing yourself and figuring out how to honor and be in service to the lighter part of your personality. And to get all that you need through the right means. It's just like with children. If you give them everything they want, they never have to work for anything. And so I think I'm enjoying this part of my life the best because I've worked for everything I've gotten and I've been able to make certain choices. You have a choice in life. You have to think about what that choice is. And you have to be definitive about choosing that choice and working toward a goal to have all of your dreams come true. You just invite it and it happens. I'm happy with my life because I've worked for everything I've gotten, and I feel as if there's more to come because I'm vulnerable, open, and humble. Oh my goodness, it has to be Gustavo Fring. Hands down. I mean, he's Chilean, come on. But you know, I did another piece, so I have to talk about, I played Blackbird. And Blackbird, you know, it had, Blackbird is a web series for Nissan Chile. And I'm very proud of it because it has its inception in Chile. And Sebastian, who directed it and wrote it, went to Nissan. He works for an advertising company here as a director. And this is what it's about. He had a vision to advertise a car, but to tell a story of the Chilean people. And so if you haven't seen Blackbird, check it out. It's a really great web series. And we're probably going to come here and do another one. I recently was honored with Hollywood Critics Association. I won 3 awards. And they played a retrospective of most of my career. And I looked at it and I started crying because it seems like yesterday. People ask me what my favorite role is. As you asked, what do you think you're known for, your favorite role from the fans in Chile is? And my answer when people ask me what is your favorite role, it's hard to answer because I feel like to be present is most important. So my answer is always a dud. Doesn't make people laugh. It's what I'm doing now, you know. And of course, you don't know what I'm doing now because I haven't talked about it. But because I love what I do, I don't carry around what I've done before. While I'm doing it, I'm completely immersed and completely present. So the turning point in my career was, I think, when I realized that people knew who I was. And then I wanted to run away from that. Because as an actor, I don't want people to know who I am. Because I'm going to be somebody else next time they see me. I don't want to act the same again. But it was after Do the Right Thing, where people were like, especially the African American community in the United States, all of a sudden like, who is this guy? And so I appreciated that. That was one of my early rises to stardom. But then you have to take a film called The Usual Suspects. And I was in that. And that was a very different kind of movie with a very different audience. And people recognized me from that. And that was a second rise to stardom. And so I realized, and you might learn this about life, that when you have the ability to not be attached to things that define you, your ego is going to want to connect to the definition of why people know who you are. I could be Gus Fring forever and get a lot of juice from it. I could live off of going to Comic-Cons. I could play that same character over and over and over again. But I've been blessed with a gift. And my gift is to recreate myself as an actor each and every time I do it. Well, believe it or not, your gift is to recreate yourself as a human being each and every time you wake up every morning. It's a new day. It's a new you. It's a new vision. It's a new challenge. So therefore, you're never stuck in the life you lived yesterday. You're constantly in this creation mode. Right now, I'm doing a show for AMC called Parish, where I play an everyman. See, I want to play people who aren't extraordinary. So people look at actors as being extraordinary. They say you got a great life, you get driven around, you get paid a lot of money. My life can be a lot of that, but mostly it's hard work. I work for 14 hours a day. I'm doing the show I'm doing now. I'm producing for AMC. It's you may have seen the last piece of Saul. They said Giancarlo's going to be back and Bob's going to be back. Well, I'm producing, I'm acting in it, and I'm in a place where I have to look inside for the vision to tell the story. I'm not just responsible for my acting, I'm responsible for editing and putting it together as something that you would see and enjoy as a whole story. So then it becomes the love of your life. And when you're doing the love of your life, you're passionate and you recreate the vision for who you are every single day that you wake up. And it makes life exciting, rich, full, informed, and terrific.